Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do DIY Dollar Tree decorative wrapped boxes. We're going to do them 6 ways. We're going to start day 1 with the medium-sized boxes. You can really use any of these techniques for any of these size boxes. All of these were inspired by boxes I've seen all over the world today. We're going to use these 2 medium decorative boxes, the one with the mandala on it and the one with the pretty fabric. We're going to use some Dollar Tree wrapping paper in black and red check, as well as some paper that we made on our channel. Basically, it's just a printed picture of a buffalo check on cardstock. I will link the actual image as well as the video that we made them in the description box down below. We're going to use some double sticky tape, any kind that you like. There's foam mounting tape, there you can use dots, and the other project we're going to use Aleene's tacky glue. So like I mentioned, this is going to be 6 different DIYs in 3 days. And they're all going to have different techniques. Some are going to be paper, some are going to be fabric, and some are going to be glued and all the things. So you wait to see. It's going to be like a lot of fun. But the first one I'm going to start with, like I said, I'm calling these medium boxes because I made a small, medium, and large. But these are actually the largest of this set of gift boxes that they have at the Dollar Tree. All of these items can be found at the Dollar Tree except the spray glue. The Dollar Tree does sell spray glue, but I'm not too crazy about it. And the embellishments, I got all that stuff from the Dollar Tree. I just didn't mention it because that also in the course of the 3 days is a matter of options, personal opinions, and that kind of stuff. So all I'm doing is I have these printed in 4x6 or 5x7. And I'm saying it like that because when I got to do the lid, I realized that I had one of them was in 4x6 and the rest were in 5x7. But what I just did was I printed this in 5x7. Now I mentioned this when I did the previous tutorial where I printed them out. This is, for all intents and purposes, a free project. If you have a printer with ink and you have paper, then you have this already done. People are always like, it's hard to find this paper. It's hard to find this even in the scrapbook section, you know, even in 12x12s, but you can just print your own. There's lots of free patterns on the World Wide Web. Okay. So all I'm doing is I've cut it out. I'm measuring. As you could tell, it doesn't go to the top of the box, which is fine because this box has a lid. Now, for some of the projects, we're going to all of the projects have lids except for the biggest one. And for some of them, we're going to actually make the lids removable and some are going to make the lids permanent. And again, that's a matter of personal preference. All of the samples that I saw at Hobby Lobby and Big Lots and Walmart, all were just cubes. They were just permanent fixed cubes that looked like they were wrapped in some sort of buffalo check fabric with some burlap ribbon on it. But I wanted to make these so that you can use them for gifts. They're not going to be lined, so if you want to take the time and line them, you can. But really, I think tissue paper is probably enough, okay? So really all I'm doing, and that's why I'm talking over this DIY to tell you what's happening for this week, is because I'm literally just using double sticky tape. I'm trying to do my best to match the pattern as I go around. Of course, there will be one seam, but if you put one seam in the back corner, that's okay. Like I said, when I got to the top, I realized that 2 of these pages were not the same size, so I kind of had to do a little bit of finagling. But for all in all, if you're going to print them in a 5x7 or 4x6, then you're going to need 6 pieces. We're not going to cover the bottom, but you're going to need 2 pieces for the top. Now, I also decided to make the edge of the top with black satin ribbon. Again, this box isn't going to open and close, but it could if you just wanted to do a little bit different with the burlap. So here I am just trying to make a bigger piece, trying to decide, should I like glue tape 2 pieces together while it's down and then create one big piece, or should I just go ahead and section it right there on the cover? And I decided to go ahead and section it right there on the cover. Now, the reason that these were printed in the 4x6 and 5x7 is because I wanted the check to be sort of a medium size. I did print some bigger, and what that does is it actually gives you, it still gives you like 6 rows of check, but imagine if you expanded it, they're just bigger boxes. They're bigger checks. If you shrink it, it's just smaller checks. Now, there is different ways, obviously, to adjust the size and find different buffalo check patterns on the World Wide Web. But for this one, I just went ahead and changed it by changing my printer settings. This way, that's easy enough. I think that that's probably people that's probably pretty basic for most people, because when you're printing pictures, 8 by 10 or 4 by 6 is usually an option. Now you can see it's not 100% perfect, but what on our channel is. I'm just saying, crafts very rarely are. So now I'm showing you that you can take some more print paper and you can go ahead and wrap it around the edge. If you print it off enough, you can just buffalo check around the edge. What I would suggest is doing it in separate pieces. So I would cover the top and then I would take the strips of paper and I would go around the edge. What I've decided to do here is just to do a little black satin ribbon from the Dollar Tree. You get more than 9 feet of the black satin ribbon, which is nice. So I had this for a while. And 2 pieces butted up to each other fits perfectly on the edge of this lid. So that's another thing that just made it just so. But again, this would look really cute if you took some thick burlap ribbon or any of the cute little Christmas ribbons that they have out now as well. Now I am calling these Christmas wrapped packages, but obviously if you left off the holly and such, these could really be out for every birthday party you wanted, any anniversary like that. It doesn't have to be for Christmas, but of course we have them for Christmas. Now this is the new natural edged burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It's already stiffened, which I love. I'm just cutting it down narrow for a couple of reasons. A, I'm cheap. No, really. The real reason is because full size, it just seemed a little too wide for this particular box. So what I did was I just folded it in half, found the middle, and just cut straight up the middle to make 2 pieces. And then I'm wrapping them starting at the top underneath where the bow will be, going around underneath and just matching back up in the middle. Now this is a very, very stiff ribbon, so you can bend the corners if you want to, pull it real hard and tight to make it nice and taut, which really makes it look pretty. Now for this one, I decided to just do like one of these jute, not like flower bow things. I don't know. They sell them at the Dollar Tree. I think Kelly Barlow makes them on her channel too. But they kind of sell them at the Dollar Tree in the ribbon section for a while there. And all it is you just wrap as many times as you want around your hand and basically cinch the middle. The only thing that I'm going to do that's a little different is once I open it out, I'm going to add some glue to the back of the pieces that are, the pieces that are joining the 2 edges together so that they makes a complete round circle. I know there's other ways to do this. Actually, as a matter of fact, I know there's probably a really easy way to do this where you just put a string in the loop like you were making a pom-pom. But this is just wanted to be quick and easy. Just put one of these little bows on the top. Now throughout the week, we're also going to do, throughout the next 3 days, we're also going to do different kinds of bows. So stick around for that as well. Now for the next one, this is the same exact size box. I'm just going to take some Aleene's tacky glue, spray adhesive, and the box top. And I'm going to just spray around it, and you want to let it set up for about 30 seconds. I know this is high-speed film. What I like about this wrapping paper is it has grids under it, so you can make sure you line it up beautifully. Now you don't want to square up the buffalo check on this wrapping paper because it is askew. They're really like diamond shapes, not really squares. Now for this, all we're going to do is like we wrap with contact paper. We're going to wrap up 2 sides opposite from each other. We're going to make sure that it's nice and flat and tight. And then we're going to come across to the insides and we're going to just square off the corners. So what you want to do is you want to cut the flap that's closest to the table straight up to the corner, tuck the sides in, and then wrap that over. So let's repeat that. So what you want to do is you want to cut straight up to the corner, and then it's going to leave you these 2 tabs on the side. You're going to tuck the tabs in, add a little bit more spray glue, and then wrap the flap over those ends. So now you have nice covered corners, you have nice covered edges. Now if you were going to make this a gift box that you were going to remove and give to people, I would take another small square and basically line the inside of the cover as well as lining the inside of the box if I was going to make this like a permanent gift box. Now you're just going to repeat it with the bottom, the side, my goodness, it is the bottom. You're going to repeat it with the bottoms. However, what I decided to do is just to be cheap again. I didn't want to waste this piece of paper. Plus, my workstation isn't really as clean as it is now, it's just very short to make a big wide piece of paper. So this is enough paper to cover 3 sides. And I want to show you how I sprayed 3 sides of the box and the stretch piece of paper. And then I lined it up with that grid, folded up the 2 sides, and then add a little bit more glue and fold it up all the edges. So basically that whole piece of paper is glued. Now I'm cutting away the piece of paper from the bottom, and I'm going to make it just flush. I just cut flush with the bottom. Now I'm going to take that same piece of paper that I just cut off, and I'm going to use it just to match up. And it's really easy to match this pattern. This is a factory pattern. This isn't like a handmade, you know, somebody printing it on their Etsy shop or whatever. This is a very, very repetitive manufactured product. And I'm just going to match wherever I can, and then trim up the bottom. And then we're going to repeat the edges. This one's a lot easier. We're just going to cut up each corner until we meet the box, and we're going to fold each edge in. That's all. And we did spray a little bit on the inside just so we could have something to tack to. So this technique, when you glue your paper and your box and you dry them off, it's called dry mounting. The thing is, it's unforgiving. It's placed and then it's done. If you mess up, you'll have to throw it out and start over. Or I guess you could soak it and wash it off, but this is a cardboard box. You don't want to do that. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you how to make this removable. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that same burlap ribbon. This is the new raw edge that's stiffened already. And I've measured it around the box one time. I've cut it down the middle so that I have 2 pieces. Now I'm going to start with the lid. I put a little bit of hot glue, tuck it under just the lip of the box, and then go over as tight as I can and repeat on the other side. And once I have it glued down, then I want to go ahead and cut away. And then I'm going to repeat it with the crossways. Okay, we're just going to go in both directions. And we're going to overlap the top in the middle. Now, if you did want to line this box and give it away and keep it pretty forever and ever, I would definitely put the ribbon on first so that you can hide whatever multitude of issues you might have. Okay, but you can see this is fairly simple. Okay, now we're going to take the top, we're going to place it on the bottom. Now, I will tell you that the next size up from this box lid actually fits in here perfectly. I found the 2 lids actually stuck in the bottom of these boxes, and I can't even return them because they were from like another state. So yeah, so I have 2 tops, but I wanted to show you that they fit in here and they'll hold this box up, which is kind of important. It really does help press the tape down, press the glue down if if the box doesn't have any give. So all I'm doing is I'm putting the lid on and I'm tucking the ribbon right under where it would be if it was one continuous piece. And I'm gluing right to the edge of that. I'm not going on the inside of the bottom box with that extra ribbon. Okay. And then I'm going underneath and I'm gluing it tab down, and I'm going to repeat this to all 4 sides. Now, the only reason that I'm not going on the inside to secure it is because I'm running out of ribbon. No, that's not why. But honestly, it is a little bit. It's because I'm cheap. I'm trying to do this all on a real tight budget for you guys. You can't tell once it's all put together that there's not ribbon on the inside. You would be able to tell if you opened it and used it. But another thing is, if things come in and out of the box, you don't have to worry about it pulling on that ribbon, okay? So now for this one, we're going to take some more of this ribbon, and we're going to create a very, I guess, simple bow is the best way to put it. We're going to do sort of a 2-loop bow. And I know this has 4 loops, but if you've been with me for a while, you know that I call this a 2-loop bow because it actually has 2 sections that we're looping together. But I just took one a little bit smaller than the other. I took a piece of scrap that I had left over, folded it in half, and wrapped it around. Just a basic, I feel like this is like a real basic paper bow. We used to make paper bows a long time ago, and that's what I feel like this is. You're just going to take 2 loops. You want the biggest one on the bottom, the smallest one on the top. You want to overlap their ends. You want their ends to be on the underside. Stack them on top of each other. Just take a scrap of ribbon and go around the middle. I'm just going to set this off to set up. And then I'm going to take another piece for 2 tails, just only as long as I want the tails to be. Cut it in half. I dovetailed these tails, and I'm just gluing them down to the middle of the box. This isn't the kind of bow that you're going to untie, because this is not the kind of ribbon that you're going to untie. So then I just take the bow and I glue it down to the very center. I'm just going to weight it down with my scissor and my silicone spatula while I pick out some embellishments. For this one, I decided to embellish it with some berries. I actually had this little pick from last year. It has little berries. It has a little bit of pine, like plastic pine. And I decided to take off 3 of the section of holly leaves, put the berries in the middle, and then I took one of the pine garland ties and just cut off a piece and stuck it under, just to give it a little bit more of a festive thing. But I forgot to fluff it. Yeah, you know how we fluff it? Yeah, I forgot to fluff it. So I fluffed it after the fact. So that's these 2 boxes. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share with friends and family, anybody who might be interested in learning how to make either one of these, the techniques, or the techniques for the rest of the series. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. When you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you guys take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye.